Okay then, hello to everyone. So I see we have a few attendees then this afternoon. My name is Frances Devine and I am the course director for the postgraduate level programs in the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management. So you're all very welcome this afternoon. I have a young student with me called Timothy Cullen, and Timothy is working at the moment as a restaurant manager with the Galgorm Resort Group and Spa. So Timothy will share some of his experiences with you as we progress through this presentation. Now, the programs in the Department of Hospitality and Tourism, we concentrate on two specific postgraduate programs. Firstly, we have the MSc in International Tourism and Hospitality Management, and then we have one called the MSc in International Event Management. So if you wish to specialise in one of those areas, you have plenty of opportunities to be able to do that. Now, the benefits, of course, then of studying at Ulster University. There are some wonderful opportunities for you to be able to change your career perhaps. So maybe you're coming into us as a nurse or as a working in a bank, or perhaps you have done English or music or economics perhaps as an undergraduate, and then of course maybe you would like to take this opportunity to move and to change your career, perhaps even to marry or to move into another sector with your experiences that you have to date. So you could be coming to us already as a current student, perhaps with your undergraduate study. Perhaps you are a new applicant, and I know, for example, that we do have some applicants this year from the industry sector, and perhaps they are wishing to, perhaps they're very passionate, perhaps they wish to upskill, perhaps they wish to move into an advance on their career course. And so you are all very welcome, and I'm sure that you are all very passionate in what you do. So we are here to help you to fulfill that ambition, of course, that you have for that you are striving towards for the future. All of our programs and our modules are taught by experts in the field. We have some wonderful staff that are ongoing in research at the moment, and then they bring those experiences from their research into their teaching content throughout the different modules. We do have what is called a studies advisor and tutorial support all the way through. So if you ever need any guidance, any support on your assessments, indeed any guidance on well-being, wellness, health and safety, there are so many fantastic supported opportunities as you go throughout your university education. And of course, we have some great links with industry. So we continuously invite industry representatives to come in to share some of their experiences. And then we do have a lovely co-creating experience, if you'd like. So what we can learn from you, even from your experiences, and then indeed what you can learn from us. So there is a lot of sharing of nice information as we go throughout the program. Now, just to give you some of the benefits of holding a postgraduate level study. So there is £70,000. Now that is the average of the extra amount that a postgraduate student can earn compared to graduates from other undergraduate programs. So definitely having a postgraduate level can be a huge benefit. Postgraduates make up 21%. They're actually more likely to be highly skilled in employment, and that is what the industry sector is looking for right now. You have the potential to increase on your earnings with having a postgraduate level of study, and then these factors and statistics come to us from the Department of Education there, for example, and from the graduate outcomes. So there are some fantastic benefits. Maybe if you are sitting there wondering, should I really do a postgraduate study? But the benefits speak for themselves there. Now, throughout Ulster, we do have some wonderful opportunities, many choices for you to take on board. I know, for example, at the moment that we do have some students, and they're coming into us perhaps with a music background, with drama. Timothy himself came to us with economics and law from Queen's University, and now he's doing tourism and hospitality. Music and production and would maybe be interested in the events management program. So a lot of undergraduate students maybe tend to marry their postgraduate program with their undergrad, just for that extra benefit perhaps of another industry sector. So there are so many wonderful opportunities there throughout postgraduate study at Ulster University. Now, our modes of study. So at the moment we are offering all of our programs both full-time and part-time. We are doing what is called a blended learning approach. So indeed, some of those learning sets that we conduct could be done by you having the pleasure of your own home computer, or maybe even sitting in your office at work at the moment. And if you can grab that time, you can tune in, listen to a webinar, or perhaps it might be a Zoom meeting, just to give you that little bit of tutorial and guidance support on your assessment. So we do have some wonderful flexible opportunities there in the mode of delivery. Through our flexible study levels, if you wish, we do have some little short courses through the continuous professional development mode. And if you wish to take some taster modules, if you'd like, even to get started. But we do offer a postgraduate certificate, which takes on 60 credit points usually, so that would be 3 modules at postgraduate level. The postgraduate diploma is where you would have the 6 modules at 60 at 20 credits each, and then of course you can always progress then to the master's level programs, perhaps to complete a dissertation of individual research. So that's just the difference there. Okay. Please do stop me at any time if anyone wants to use the comment box, and I can indeed even answer questions as I go along, or even Timothy can even keep a little eye there for me and we'll answer the questions between us as we go. Now, just to explain to you that we do have some wonderful guest speakers that come into us from time to time, and they would host professional workshops with their students. So this photograph was actually taken in our own Academy restaurant on the Belfast campus. This is Chef Tony O'Neill, and Tony is the owner of Kopi and Bupa restaurants in St Anne's Square in Belfast. And the likes of Tony would come in and deliver some of his experience and share some of his skills with our students. So there's just a little example there of how the industry sector work and how that relationship is so special within the Department of Hospitality and Tourism. Now, you can apply directly online. So once you would go into the link for postgraduate study, just simply click on the apply button, apply now. There is no official closing date. However, we would tend to keep an eye on places now come the month of September, just to see what our numbers are like. We do have limited places, so we do like to keep a very close eye now come the month of September, just to see what our applications are like. We do have an induction actually scheduled now for the 17th of September. So if you were interested in coming on board, if we can help at all with guiding you through that process, through that application, and to help you to make that final decision. And indeed, if you wanted a little bit of guidance on your application, we would be here and very, very willing to help you to complete that whole process. Anna, you've come up there with a nice little question. Hi, Francis, is the application open to international students? Anna, of course, of course. So once you click on that application form, Anna, it will give you the option to state whether you are a national student or an international student, and then your application form will go directly through to the international office. And then they will send you out all of the relevant details, put some queries to you and help you, of course, with that process, just to make sure that your qualifications originally from your home country would match up and in par with what we are requiring for incoming students. Kane, when do we confirm our modules for part-time students? Kane, that is a very good question as well. Usually during the induction session on the 17th, we have built in a little bit of time into that schedule on the 17th for me to guide you through all of the modules to help you to make that choice, and then you actually can register on the day. But if you do wish to go ahead, Kane, you know, once I think I may have sent you out the timetable, Kane, just this week as a new incoming student. So if you take a look at that timetable, And we have 6 modules of study, and each module is delivered within a month. So for example, later on in September, on the 29th of September, the first module will commence. So Kane, if you'd like to pick the September module or the October module or the November module, and the choice would be yours. For part-time study, we like students to take no more than 90 credits for the whole year. So that would equate to perhaps 2 modules in semester 2, Kane, and 2 modules in semester 2. All right, and 2 in semester 1. Each module is worth 20 credits. So I hope that helps answer a little bit. Okay. Anna, if you'd like to send me a little email just at the end of this session, Anna, I can certainly check through your application just to help you to find that program. It will be titled the MSc in International Tourism and Hospitality Management. Okay. But I can definitely help you to find that. Okay. All right, I'll keep moving on. But yeah, please do feel free, to stop me if you wish. Now, when it comes to fees, once you click on the program, when you're looking for information in the University of Ulster website, there will be a fees and finance section there for you. So our courses do start from approximately the £6,300 there. There is flexible payment options, and of course you are allowed a 10% alumni discount if you're coming to us as a current student and simply advancing from your undergraduate studies. And we do offer a 5% discount there just for a little bit of payment up front. And of course, there are many loans available. So if you'd like to just click on the loans section when you go into that fees and finance, it will certainly outline some of those options for you that you can take benefit of. Now, our wonderful global industry of hospitality and tourism, and indeed, there is no taking away the fact that our industry has certainly been hit hard on COVID. But I do admit to you that reading through some of the reports through the World Travel and Tourism Council, our industry is so resilient. There is certainly a very professional background in our industry. We are so versatile. We are open to welcoming transferable skills within our industry sector, and I honestly do feel that there is a big drive now for the future. Timothy will allude to this in a few moments. The Galgorm Resort, for example, are undertaking a 40% recruitment drive at the moment, and there is many other big professional bodies, our own homegrown Hastings hotel group, the Hiltons, the Radissons. They are all there looking for staff at the moment. And of course, 1 in 10 jobs are globally linked to the tourism, hospitality, event sector. And it is certainly a key driver for economic growth. Do you know, I was even just listening to the news this week, and the Electric Picnic festival event, which usually happens down in County Laois, but they did get their license taken off them this year, of course, on the back of COVID. But on the good side and on the upside, they are actually going very strongly down the road of trying to get their license taken back on board again. So as long as those planners and organisers of events in the future now can guarantee that the event goers, so there's 500 out of the 5,000 potential event goers for Electric Picnic, as long as you all have your 2 vaccinations and can prove such, I think we certainly do have a nice way forward. So there is a wonderful breadth then of opportunity in our sector. I suppose you'll notice the Donegal accent perhaps on myself. So within the province of Ulster alone, down here towards Mallinhead and in the Shown, we were the backdrop and the setting, of course, for Star Wars. And, you know, I mean, you've got a Game of Thrones, the commencement of the Giro d'Italias, the Open Golf events. You know, there is a wealth of events and opportunities within tourism and hospitality. And I know that even a lot of our hospitality and hotel sector, at the moment, a lot of those owners and managers are looking for the student that has the conference event sector that has that experience, and they are looking for specialised conference planners for a lot of their sectors at the moment. So there is a wealth and breadth of opportunities out there at the moment. And then, of course, you've got all of the new business models, all of those sustainable projects, boxed lunches, cooked meals delivered to your door. There is just so many options that we can switch in and move around on. So to me, we do have a very, very flexible industry sector, and of course extremely resilient and willing to take on all of those opportunities. We're there to refocus, and of course perhaps initially all right on our domestic tourism and our staycations, but we have a wonderful island of Ireland, and of course when you look out at that glorious sunshine today, looking out over the water, looking out over the foil or wherever you might be, I think you can agree with me that it is certainly hard to beat. Now, there's just a little bit of statistics on how our industry in Northern Ireland, how the economy is driven by the hospitality and tourism and industry sector. So in 2019, of course, just before COVID came on board, 5 million trips were taken. There's 968 million in revenue. Our industry there contributes to 5.6% of our gross domestic product. Rooms and events, and of course when we're looking to attend an event, we're going to have perhaps to travel to get there. We will need the hospitality, the food, the accommodation that goes with it. So our industry sector is so closely knit to all of those other services sectors, of course, then that we require. Our giant causeway has been top of the list, of course, on Lonely Planet, and indeed the Titanic quarters has also held a top place there on Lonely Planet's visit to Northern Ireland. So why study in the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management? Folks, this is actually 3 of our past students that undertook our undergraduate programs, and then they progressed over onto the postgraduate level. So our students are, they are there as ambassadors for us. We are very proud of a lot of our past students, and some of them come back to us, of course, as guest speakers in our industry. We are ranked first in the UK for hospitality, leisure, recreation and tourism. We're very proud of this young lady. Her name is Louisa, and she came from Colombia 2 years ago, and she very much explored a project on peace and reconciliation. And through some crowdfunding that she did, she had some wonderful sponsorship and took 2 of her own students with her back to Colombia, and they set up, using the experiences, of course, from Northern Ireland, and they set up a peace and reconciliation cafe where people could come in just to experience and to network and to get to know each other. So there are some wonderful projects that come to light. And we are one in only 6 universities that offer the facilities of a hands-on training academy restaurant, where students can get that first-hand experience of meeting and greeting the customer and dealing with all of those experiences. We have some award-winning engagement there with industry, of course. We are professionally accredited by the Institute of Hospitality. Our staff are accredited through the Higher Education Academy, and we do share our wealth of research that we do with industry team members, and then we share those experiences and bring those results and discussions back into the content of our modules. As I said, I did mention, the co-creation that we have throughout all of our programs. We have some influencers there in the sector from Belfast City Council. They offer some wonderful voluntary events even throughout the year. The opportunity to sit at roundtable discussions with planners for events that come to the City of Belfast, city hotels, Tourism Northern Ireland and hospitality, and even through Visit Belfast at the moment, they have some sustainable projects ongoing. And then of course they would make contact with me as course director and ask if I could put some of the advertisements, of course, to the students for those opportunities that might come on board. And one that I am actually recalling at the moment is BBC actually made contact with me just back at the beginning of summer. It was in the month of May, and they are actually looking for a planner, an event planner for their services of weddings. So they are hopefully going to commence this new program now for the autumn. So some of our students have taken up that opportunity as well. So there's plenty of opportunities there for employment as you go throughout. So our programs are all about developing future leaders. If you would like to simply refocus perhaps on where you are at the moment, maybe you would like to advance within your own career, getting the knowledge, of course, and we present students with every professional opportunity to make the best of themselves. We are a very energetic team. We have a lovely new build called the Advanced Belfast Campus, which is opening now for September 2021. And of course, this is where we will develop a wide range of management and leadership and those technical skills, of course, for you as a student moving forward as a future leader. And the good news is we have these programs in hospitality, tourism and events open to any discipline that you're coming in with from an undergraduate level. I did allude there to nursing, banking, music, production, business, economics. So whatever your background might have been initially, we certainly welcome any discipline to come on board for our postgraduate level programs. Now, I'm going to focus for a few moments individually on each of the two programs of postgraduate level. So firstly, the International Tourism and Hospitality Management. Now, likewise for the Event Management program, we have a September and a January intake. We will be based on the Belfast campus. Full-time for 1 year, we do use the full 3 semesters. So semester 1 runs from September to December, semester 2 runs from January to May, and then semester 3 for the dissertation, for that individual research if you wish to progress to the master's level. We use the summer from May, and you would submit in and around actually the 16th, 17th of September. I know that date in my head because I have a couple of students due to submit now for September. So we use the full spectrum of the year for the full-time student on that full-time mode. And then, as I alluded to earlier, on the part-time mode, as a part-time student, you can pick and choose out of the 3 modules that's delivered each semester. So in semester 1, for example, instead of doing all 3 modules at 20 credits, those 60 credits, you would take 1 module or 2 modules to give you the 80, to give you the 40 credits max per semester, hence falling under that 90 credits for the whole year. We have a new option because we recently reviewed and what we called revalidated our programs. So we have now introduced an advanced practice pathway. And what that means is you actually have a choice. You can work in industry and gain those professional skills. So it gives you a wonderful opportunity to work with industry and to put what you are learning into practice to develop those professional skills. So that is for a period of 12 weeks. And of course, we work very closely with you to build your CV and to confirm that placement or internship, as some of you may wish to call it. And it's a 12-week work experience on internship. Or you can do what is called an advanced consultancy project. So this is where we invite industry to come in or they will give us a challenge or an opportunity or a project that they would like some investigation or some exploration done on. Again, it's for a 12-week, but it can be more desktop, this one, where you would obviously do the research and put a nice report and consultancy project together. And then, of course, you can, again, build on your experiences. It gives you a wonderful stepping stone just for the way forward to share your experiences for that, you know, diverse and culture and working even with different international concepts throughout all of our industry experiences. Now, the International Tourism and Hospitality Management Programme, there are 6 key modules there. Our modules are delivered through what we call block delivery. Now, that block delivery traditionally takes place on a Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday. It is quite an intensive period. We use the 9 to 5 for those 3 days for the delivery for each of those modules. So, for example, getting started on the timetable. The Tourism and Hospitality Principles will be the first module, and that commences now on September the 29th, 30th, and 31st. And then the learning set days, we have 3 learning set days for each module, and that is where the assessment will be conducted. Now, the assessments are quite traditional. No exams, you'll be glad to hear. We have 100% coursework. It could be through a little presentation, either individually or as a group. It could be perhaps to present an infographic on an idea, perhaps to chair or participate on a roundtable discussion and to be assessed on that. It could be a case study approach. It could be an essay, a report, a project of sorts for about 2,000 to 3,000 words. So, and there's usually 2 pieces of coursework per module. Okay, so this is our 6 taught modules, and they are worth 20 credits each. Okay, so tourism and hospitality up now first for September, and then that is followed through with strategic marketing in the month of October, and then the managing and leading people in November, December. And then going into semester 2, then on the contemporary issues in hospitality and tourism, business, sustainability and innovation, and the research methods. Now, all of those wonderful skills, you will then be so well prepared for working in as hospitality management, tourism planning, tour operations. There's visitor attractions management, a restaurant owner manager, and you have Timothy talking to you now in a few moments through his own experiences. A lot of our cruise liners, our P&Os, the Princess Cruise Liners, are all looking for our students, of course, to work on the cruise lines. And there you also have the airlines and the airport operations. So some wonderful opportunities. I have to say we do have some freelance students that actually work with the hospitality and tourism sector on planning events and setting up their venues. So there's actually some, you know, nice freelance opportunities there as well. So it depends on your own choice of your industry sector then that you would like to go into as a career. I have just there's just a couple of little testimonials if you'd like from past students, if you wish to give them a glance over. I would highly recommend this course. This is Caitlin. It allowed me to advance into the sector of hospitality. She now works for the Whitbread company in the UK, and she would actually set up a lot of their software packages within their marketing department. Jessica there works for Tourism Ireland through their New York office, so some wonderful travel experiences there. And Louisa, as I alluded to earlier, comes from Colombia, so she was able to combine all of her work experiences, and it has certainly inspired her to stay in the industry and to focus on peace and reconciliation within the tourism, hospitality and event sector. Now, event management, very similar, September plus January intake based in Belfast, full-time and part-time modes. The advanced practice is also on offer there. Now, the modules for this one. So this program will commence now with event management on the 29th of September. Now, within this module, you will be asked to evaluate, analyze, and bring to fruition an event of your choice and be able to analyze it. So what do those event managers get up to, and be able to analyze an event. And then as you move into the second semester, again, you have the research methods and the strategic management, and your core module this time, industry-based sector, will be the critical event studies. Now throughout this one, you will be able to analyze in a lot more detail the political, the financial, the technological, all of those social influencing factors, and look at events so much more critical through the eyes of government and through the eyes of those event planners. So some wonderful skills there to be developed. Career opportunities, sports events coordinators, there's your in-house and out-house cultural events. I've mentioned freelance there for you. Music, entertainers, hotel venues. We actually have a young lady at the moment called Rachel, and Rachel was snapped up. She was seen actually planning an event by an organizer and a manager from Buckingham Palace in London. So she was asked to come over and do a little test run with them, and she is now leading their events as their marketing officer over in Buckingham Palace in London. So I thought that was a nice one to share. So again, plenty of opportunities there for you. There again is some testimonials. So Judith goes on to say that she made the choice and she thought it was a great step up between her undergraduate and degree program. She's now working as an event assistant through the Northern Ireland Hotels Federation. Claire has been able to forge all of those experiences, and I know that Claire led the cultural nights and cultural days in Belfast, so she's very much went down that event management route. And then Claire O'Reilly is one of the main event managers for the Belfast City Marathon. Now, Timothy, over to you if you would like to give us a few little words of wisdom as a current student. Thank you, Timothy.
Thanks, Francis. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, Timothy.
Thanks very much. Yep, so folks, just to give you a bit of a run through of myself, I've been working in hospitality around about 8 years. My current position is one of the restaurant managers at Gillies in the Galgorm Resort and Spa. Now, in saying that, I didn't go through a conventional route, just as resonating with Francis had mentioned earlier on. So my background didn't start at A level at college studying a tourism or a hospitality module. I actually studied maths, physics and engineering. I completed my A levels. I was accepted into Queen's University to do an undergrad in mechanical engineering. And then after 1 year of that, I decided to internally transfer in Queen's. And I went on then to do an undergraduate degree in economics with finance, which I graduated in then from Queen's. Coinciding with my studies, I was working part-time in hospitality, but I think that is the most conventional pathway, is going through it in a part-time role. And throughout my time in the industry, I loved the interaction, I loved the career progression, the learning curves that were involved, and I finally asked myself the question, you know, would hospitality be a career path for me overall? And I definitely accepted that, hence where I am today. I am currently finalizing international tourism and hospitality at MSc level. I am currently at the dissertation stage, but obviously now back working full time in the Galgorm. It has its own set of challenges, but one thing I would say is how versatile and open Ulster University are to cater for that. So it would just be for anyone who is working in a full-time position or anyone that decides to upskill themselves in the industry, you know, it's fantastic. You know, Ulster are more than accommodating, especially in terms of their part-time roles. And especially now with the demand in hospitality, I think a lot of people have an understanding that the industry is in a bad way. Well, I think every industry is, considering the last few years everywhere it has had. But just speaking from the Galgorm's perspective, as Francis had already reiterated, the 40% 40% drive for employees. What we're doing at the minute in the Gaelic Arm is actually an incentive for staff. So if myself or any other staff member gets somebody on board in the Gaelic Arm and they stay employed with the collection for over 6 months, you are given a £200 bonus for any part-time employees that you bring to the group, or £400 for any full-time. So that's just an idea of the demand and the staffing that's needed to cope with how busy we are. Now the resort is booked out now until basically December, with averaging around 2 weddings a day up until November. So there's no such thing as a quiet time, and to cope with such the demand, the career progression and ladders and opportunities that are available are so many. You can't really put a finger on it. Even myself, I've only been in the Gaelic Arm collection 4 months, and I know my current position is restaurant manager, but I've just been promoted to assistant operational manager. And because the Gaelic Arm owns numerous assets across Northern Ireland, you know, you've got Ballymena with a resort where I am based, but you've also got the likes of the Rabbit and Temple Patrick, you've got the Crawfordsburn Inn and Bangor, and you've got the Belfast assets such as Cafe Parisian and Patelli's. So, you know, in terms of employability, I can't recommend the International Tourism and Hospitality course enough, or the events management. You know, I can't really speak on that half because I didn't study it, but I know a few of my friends that did, and same idea. You know, the events industry seemingly seems like it's struggling, but even yesterday you had Concert Square in Belfast, nearly full capacity with the Chic outdoor event. You know, it's coming back, and the demand will be there, and we are just looking for anyone that's willing to give it their all, essentially. But other than that, I don't know if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, Francis.
Timothy, that is fantastic, and thank you for sharing that with us. That is lovely. I think it all speaks for itself as we've gone throughout. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you.
Of course, sure.
Folks, I'm keeping an eye on the questions here through the chat too. So Anna, you asked a very nice question there. The advanced practice pathway is worth 60 credits for that 12 weeks. It is optional. It is extra, of course, on your program, and it is offered to the full-time mode of study. So hope that clarifies that one for you. Now, we are very excited, of course, for moving over onto, hopefully, maybe you've seen it already as you drive into Belfast. It's very hard to miss as you're coming into York Street, into the heart of Belfast, off the motorways. So we are very excited, of course, as staff and as a team to be moving over into this advanced Belfast campus for September. We are hoping to be back face to face. We are obviously staying with and monitoring the government regulations as they come out. But at the moment, we are moving to a face-to-face delivery now, commencing again for September. Anything else you'd like to ask, just let me know. So as I said, under COVID, we are just continuing there to operate safely. Of course, the requirement is there to wear your mask, to wash your hands, to stay at a social distance. And of course, we will have all of these expectations and signs and guidance all in place as you enter into our buildings for September. Okay, so we are hoping to welcome everyone back, for September, and we will obviously keep the government and public health guidance monitored each time of that journey, each step of the way, and hopefully we will have a very smooth transition for September coming back on board. Okay, so if anyone has any questions regarding the postgraduate study, please do send me a little email. So Anna, if you would like to follow up with me, Anna, just on your application procedure there on your program. So I am Francis, F for Francis, G for Geraldine, anna.devine@ulster.ac.uk, and hopefully I will answer any queries for you. Okay, Anna, what are the job opportunities like for starters in the hospitality sector? Oh, Anna, there are so many opportunities. I have indeed alluded to some of these as I came throughout. Let me just jump back here for you for one moment. So between working within hotel operations itself, tourism planning, a lot of our hotels at the moment, Anna, are actually looking for specialised event planners within their conferencing, business and conferencing sectors. There's visitor attractions and management. Timothy is a restaurant manager himself within the Galgorm Complex and Resort Group. So, you know, he has just shared some of his experiences there with us as well. So there are so many opportunities there, Anna. It is vast and wide, and yeah, all of those employers are looking for your skills.
I don't mind even jumping on and talking more specifically about hospitality, and even in terms of the positions available. You know, not even just in the Galgorm collection, but just what I would know at the top of my head. You know, just looking at the industry at the minute. You know, Anna, we have roles varying from all different walks of life. So don't be thinking that you would need as much experience as maybe I had coming into a graduate role in hospitality. You know, I was just fortunate that I had part-time experience, but most places, and this isn't just the Galgorm, most places are open to, if you have a graduate degree, or especially if you have a master's degree from Ulster University in tourism or hospitality, that opens quite a specific door for you in terms of opportunities available. Now, you may be fast-tracked to an interview. You know, if something like an international tourism degree from Ulster is on your CV, it will definitely get you an interview in most, if not all, hotels, resorts, bars, restaurants, whatever you'd like to go down, whatever walk of life you are interested in. But because I can speak on behalf of the Galgorm, if you were to approach us with your CV, now I know it's a bit biased at me because I know the level and pedigree of teaching that you're going to get at Ulster, it'll probably be myself that'll be on the interviewing panel, and it's highly likely that you would be accepted in a role, if not as in, you know, you could come in and start as a waitress or a bartender with a pay scale. Now, the difference between us and most jobs in hospitality is most jobs would likely start you a minimum wage or maybe like 50p or a pound over. We'll set you on a pay scale and you'll work towards the highest pay scale in the job that you're in. And what we try and do is promote internally before we advertise for external jobs across the Galgorm. For instance, say you work in Gillies, where I manage the minute, and you're a waitress, and we decide we need a supervisor. We turn around and say, well, Anna's worked up her pay scales, she's shown interest, she's keen. You'll then be brought in and interviewed for a supervisory job. Ideally, you'll get promoted. And in saying that, Anna, because the Galgorm is a collection, and we don't only specialise in eateries, we've got different bars, restaurants, with a spa. You could go on to do a receptionist role, you know, you could go on to do HR, you could go on to do spa attendee. It's entirely up to yourself. So I would recommend looking at something that can give you so many different strings to your bow, essentially. But that's just for me, Francis. You know, just to give Anna an idea, just specifically on hospitality itself, you know, the demand for work at the minute is a lot greater than the supply. You know, we can't get enough staff on to basically deal with the demand in hospitality at the moment.
Timothy, that is great, and I wish you every success in finding those new recruits.
Yeah,
sounds brilliant and sounds very promising. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. And any further questions anyone would like to ask, or indeed feel free, you know, to see Timothy has even kindly there given his email as well, if you'd like to ask him any further questions. And indeed, we're here always willing to help and support and give you any guidance that you require. Okay.